Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be going over LRs, just in general, how you get the LR coins, and what you can do with LR coins. So firstly, we're going to go over how you obtain the LR coins. There are 4 ways to obtain them. One of them, which is extremely obvious, is you can spend money and buy bundles, which give you LR coins, which I wouldn't really recommend because they're kind of really expensive for not many you get. You have another one, so this is like, you can only get 1 a week max from this, but you're guaranteed to get 1 a week. Which is this exchange shop here. You can get 1 a week. It's kind of nice. After 10 weeks, you can get 1 True Awakened character. And then you have like the main ways to get them, which is Labyrinth and Hero Arena. So after Hero Arena, there'll be Labyrinth guaranteed, which means within the next 3 weeks, we should get Labyrinth, which they did state in a monthly developer notes that they are going to increase the amount of LR coins we get from Labyrinth. Currently we get 50 LR coins from Labyrinth. They do say they want to increase it. I think that is to deal with sort of the supply and demand for, of course, True Awakening coins. So, sorry, to True Awakening characters and LRs as well. Also, they said that they want to make LRs more obtainable for the lower levels. So how do LRs work? So LRs, I know I haven't gone over the last one, how you get the LR coins. I'll just quickly do it. Basically, event bosses. Event bosses, come here, LR coins. But they're normally like 15 or like 10 a go, which isn't too bad. Final boss can also give them as well. But these are normally, once every 2 weeks you'll get 15 from them. Or if you're really lucky, you'll get 1 every week you'll get 10 every week for 3 weeks, because there'll be 3 different bosses, a new one comes out every week. But 9 times out of 10, you'll probably get like 1 boss every 2 weeks-ish, if we're lucky. So you're looking at, 15 coins, maybe 10 at max, which isn't too bad. Of course, Legend LRs don't come out as often. They don't come out that often. They come out once every 8 weeks. So we had Glocks at the start of Hero Arena. Hero Arena lasts for 6 weeks. Then we have a Labyrinth, which is then lasts for 2 or 3 weeks, I'm pretty sure. And then after Labyrinth, we then get Hero Arena again the next season, which will then drop another LR. At the start of every Hero Arena season, we get a new LR. I'll explain what I mean. So we had Melee, which dropped last anniversary for JP, which is May. Then we had Escanor, which I think dropped just before AOT rerun. Then we had Liz after AOT rerun. Then we had Margaret, which was, I think, just before Overlord. And of course, recently then we had Glocks for this season. Next season, we'll have another LR. Of course, it could be anyone. The actual points of LR, the reason they made LR characters in general, is because Grand Cross doesn't buff old characters. What I mean by that is before LR Escanor was LR Escanor, he was really bad. Same with all of these characters, apart from Margaret. Margaret was still a quite good character before she got an LR, but the rest of them were all horrible characters. But then when they got their LRs, they became really good characters. Liz is now quite a big thing in PvE. Escanor's not too bad. Margaret's still quite good for the Goddess team. She's still on the best Goddess team in the game, mainly because she provides crit chance, crit damage, basic stats, lower crit res, cleanse, a very powerful ultimate. Escanor, he's a staple of the human team. You kind of need him for the human team, because his debuffs are, well, not his debuffs, but they are debuffs, they're great debuffs, which basically increase the damage enemies take. Glocks, we're not going to talk about Glocks. Glocks requires too much of a very specific, you have to have a specific team to run Glocks, which is the problem, because the fairies you need to run are all seasonals, and they're all recent seasonals. They're not old seasonals, they're all recent seasonals. Which means 9 out of 10 players are not going to own both of them. You may own one, but you're probably not going to own both, so you can't really use him to his fullest. And his Relic forces him to only work with fairies, which sort of makes his commandment side completely useless. Because he doesn't work with the commandments really well, because he doesn't get the attack rate stat boost from his Relic. But overall, you can also use LR coins for True Awakening. True Awakening, currently there's only 1 star. As of making this video, there's only 1 True Awakening star, but 70th Leaks, of course, does all the leak stuff and tells us all the information about who's coming next, and if there's any other systems in place, all that kind of stuff. He found out that there are actually 6 stars, but adding them currently does not give anything. So if, he goes into his little, I guess like his version of the game, which is like the edited version, he can add the 6 stars, but they don't give any buffs. So currently the first star gives you damage resistance. I doubt they would make it so you get 40% damage resistance, because that means you'd have no, sorry, you'd have 5, so you could have 60% damage resistance. I doubt they would do that. I'm not sure if damage resistance and damage reduction are the same thing, because of course they're 2 different things. One's called damage reduction, one's called damage resistance. I'm not sure if it's the same thing, sort of thing. But LR coins especially when it comes to LRing characters, only specific characters can also be LR'd as well. What I mean by that, for example, with green Escanor, but only this green variant of Escanor can be LR'd. If I was to go to red Escanor, which they share the same outfits, but they can't. But he can't. He has no LR, but if I go into closet, he shares the same outfits. As you see, that's his LR, but he isn't the LR variant. As you can see here, you are. But how to get a character LR, if you are wondering. Firstly, it has to be a specific set of characters. Like I said, these 5 characters are currently the only LRs that can be, LR'd in the game. And you have to have them SA6 level 100. That is the only way you can... That's the only way, like, the ability to LR them will appear. True Awakening, you only got to get them SA6 to do True Awakening, so of course you can True Awaken. Don't worry about that. But overall, it's okay. Like, getting LR coins isn't as hard as what it used to be. It used to be really hard. It would take you probably close to, I want to say, 10 weeks to get an LR. Now, because they give out so many, you get some from Hero, you get some from, an event boss. You can get one a week from the World Tree. You can get some from Labyrinth when it comes out, and they're going to increase the amount you get. And I think currently, the problem is that LRs, the characters themselves aren't expensive, but the LR coins that are now needed for, of course, True Awakening is very expensive. That's the problem. And the fact you can True Awaken every character, not just a few specific characters, means that, there is a use for LR coins. And what I would say is if you own all the LRs, or, you, don't really want an LR, like, let's just say you own every LR Bucklocks, I wouldn't blame you. And you want to True Awaken characters, I'd say wait till you get 100 LR coins before you start True Awakening characters, or at least like 110. So that means you can LR a character. Let's say a new character comes out, because of course on Global we only really have a week's notice, of course from seeing JP, and if it's a good character, you don't kind of want to miss out on it, because they could be meta, or they could be good for PvE, some sort of content. You don't really want to miss out on it, especially if you've got 0 LR coins, because that can still take, even now, quite a while to get, because we don't really get that many event bosses, and event bosses are quite a good way to get LR coins. But with the course Global Anniversary coming up, we may get a lot, which is quite good. Overall, if you're a newer player, don't really worry about LRs, because of course, seasonal, was it Festival? I think the next one will be a seasonal if they go through the same pattern, because this was Festival, then it was Standard, then it was Seasonal, and then straight afterwards they went Festival, Standard, and then we'll probably end up seeing a seasonal as well. But of course, the problem with it being seasonals is that seasonals have a problem just in general. They don't come back very often, and most newer players are probably not going to attain them, especially the catastrophes. I go on about this quite a bit if you've been watching my channel for a while, but seasonal catastrophes are so rare to find in just banners now, because they're so bad, like they just don't get put on banners. So if an LR variant of them comes out, yes, they will then become more common, but not many people have them day one unless they've been playing for a very long time. Back in the day, we had something called Fever, which was only on Purgatory Barnes banner, but it was like, you get 1 free multi a day, it's a 7% SSR rate, and it had basically every seasonal character in the game on it, which was insane. You get like 4 SSRs some days, right? And you'd have like all the seasonals you missed. I'm pretty sure I got every seasonal I missed on that banner. I had every seasonal at the time. That was of course on that banner, and that I could get. But nowadays, like seasonal, seasonal, non-seasonal, seasonal, and seasonal. Most of my characters I'm missing are all seasonal characters, because they are the hardest to obtain. They're not really in any banners. You have this Elate, which they try and say isn't a seasonal, but it's Fulfilled Promise, which is the Wedding series. That is the Wedding variant of characters, is the Fulfilled Promise series, or the Promise series. Apart from New Legend series, which was New Year. But overall, LR coins, you got purchasing with bundles. I think there's like $25 for like 15 LR coins, which isn't very good. You can get 1 from Hero. No, not. You can get a ton from Hero Arena. Problem is, the difficulty scaling is pretty stupid. 300k is okay because you can use links. Anything above 300k, so 320k, 340k, you can't use links. Which is horrible, because they can still use links. It means you have to deal with a red Tarmiel, and you don't have red Tarmiel, which is quite a problem. I do think it should be reworked, and maybe they will rework it from the data that they got from Hero Arena being out, which is basically that, like, if you were to combine the first 3 difficulties, so the highest 3 difficulties, which is Challenger, Champion, and Masters, all 3 of them combined, the percentage of players that do that is less than Plat, which is 27% of players do plat, and 46% players do gold, I want to say. But the top 3 don't even equal to the 4th one, which isn't that good. Bear in mind, 5% of people do the hardest difficulty, and I wouldn't recommend doing the hardest difficulty because it's a lot of time. And RNG, if you really want to, yes, you get a lot more LR coins. I think you get like 25 if you do the hardest difficulty. Let me check. Okay, then we go to Hero Arena, and then we can actually see the amount. Here we go to rewards. 240. So you just divide that by 10. 24 LR coins, which is quite good. Bear in mind, that means in like the 6 weeks it's out, you could, you add extra 1 because you get an extra 1 just for completing the battles in Hero Arena, so you get 25 a week. You're looking at 150 a week. Sorry, 150 in the 6 weeks, which is very good in comparison to what I get, which is like 60. Sorry, I get like 60 plus 1, so I get 66, where instead you can get 150. That's the difference, and bear in mind, if you want to out CC 340k, you need at least 15 million box CC, which means you're not free to play. It's actually impossible if you're free to play, because you need a lot of outfits, you need basically everyone's 6'6", you need a lot of outfits, and you need to own every character in the game, and have good gear on everyone as well. But overall, LR's super easy to get. Just make sure that you're doing the event bosses, and make sure you check that you have got the rewards from the event bosses. As long as we get them from login as well, if you're lucky through an event, you're the one from Hero, the World Tree, you've got Labyrinth coming up soon, which should give at least 50. They said they are going to increase it, so let's just say 50 plus. And then, of course, then you have Hero Arena. Even if you do the lowest difficulty of Hero Arena, it's still worth it. I know, like, the rewards are really bad at the lowest difficulties, but it's like 7 basically, if you were to do gold at the lowest difficulty, is much better than getting none a week. And yeah, it would take you a lot longer if you were to do gold. But if you're a newer player and you can do it, just do it with 7 teams. You're making some sort of progress. And LRs wise, I would say you want to go for probably Liz first. If you have Liz, go for Liz first. Escanor is also quite good, Margaret's quite good, Lost Vein fell off quite hard, and Glocks isn't even useful. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next one. Goodbye.